Hello! Here we are again. Well, it might not be harvest time, but here's some questions on harvest. See how you do. Question 1. Who said, "The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few"? Was it Jesus, Paul, Peter, or Boaz? And that was Jesus, and you'll find it in Matthew chapter 9, verse 37. Question 2. Which major feast coincided with the wheat harvest? Was that Pentecost or Passover? And that was Pentecost. You'll find it in Exodus chapter 34. It's also called the Feast of Weeks, as it occurred 7 weeks after the Passover. Question 3. How many fruits of the Spirit does Paul list in Galatians? Is it 3, 4, 6, or 9? And he lists 9 fruits from Galatians chapter 5. Question 4. On which day of creation did God create fruit-bearing trees? Was it the 3rd day, the 4th day, the 5th day, or the 6th day? And that was the 3rd day. Naturally, you'll find it in Genesis chapter 1. Question 5. Why were the Israelites told not to gather the gleanings of the harvest? Was it to feed the wild animals? To provide for the poor? Because they were unclean? Or was it to keep the land fertile? And they were to provide for the poor, according to Leviticus chapter 23. Question 6. Who did the chief men go to visit in the cave of Adullam during harvest time? Was it Elijah, Hezekiah, Hosea, or David? And they went to see David in 2 Samuel chapter 23. Question 7. What was special about the harvest in the sabbatical year? Was it that there wasn't one, or it produced double? It was 2 months early, or only one type of crop was sown and harvested? Well, in the sabbatical year, there wasn't a harvest. You'll find that talked about in Leviticus chapter 25. And the same was true of the year of Jubilee. Question 8. In the parable of the tares in the field, the harvest is the end of the world, but who are the reapers? Are they God and Jesus, the Levites, the angels, or the saints? And the reapers are the angels. You'll find the story in Matthew chapter 13. Question 9. Under the law, what was to be done with the first fruits of the harvest? Were they to be put into barns, given to the Lord, given to the poor, or left in the field? And according to Leviticus chapter 23, the first fruits should be given to the Lord. Question 10. What sort of tree did Jesus curse for bearing no fruit? Was it a pomegranate tree, an almond tree, olive, or fig? And he cursed a fig tree in Matthew chapter 21. Question 11. Which prophet saw a basket of summer fruit, signifying the end was near for Israel? Was that Micah, Joel, Amos, or Obadiah? And that was Amos in chapter 8 of his book. Question 12. What was Jesus talking about when he said, "They neither sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns"? Was it animals of the forest, birds of the air, cattle of the field, or fish of the sea? And he was talking about birds of the air in Matthew chapter 6. Question 13. Who, during the wheat harvest, found mandrakes in the field and gave them to Leah? Was that Judah, Simeon, Benjamin, or Reuben? That was Reuben in Genesis chapter 30. Question 14. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth what? Is it tribulation, shame, death, or famine? And that son causeth shame, according to Proverbs chapter 10, verse 5. Question 15. For how many successive years did the crops fail during the time when Joseph reigned in Egypt? Did they fail for 2 years, 7 years, 10 years, or 12 years? And they failed for 7 years in Genesis chapter 41. Question 16. Where was Jesus when he said, "Lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest"? Was he in Decapolis, Jordan, Samaria, or Galilee? And he was in Samaria, according to John chapter 4. Question 17. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honour is not seemly for a what? Is it dishonest man, a king, a fool, or an evildoer? And honour is not seemly for a fool, according to Proverbs chapter 26. Question 18. Who caused great fear by calling on God to send rain and thunder during the wheat harvest? Was that Samuel, Aaron, David, or Joshua? And that was Samuel calling in 1 Samuel chapter 12. Question 19. At the beginning of which harvest did Naomi and Ruth go to Bethlehem? Was that the wheat harvest, the grape harvest, the barley harvest, or the rye harvest? And they went at the barley harvest, according to Ruth chapter 1. And question 20. In Revelation, how many harvests of fruit does the tree of life produce each year? Is it 1, 2, 6, or 12? And it produces 12 harvests. Find that in Revelation chapter 22. So, how did you do on that one? Did you harvest your knowledge? Or do you need to reap some more seeds? Until next time, goodbye and God bless.